1 month ago, the United States was rocked by a mass shooting of unfathomable scale at the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Since then, the nation's cable news and political world have been churning through yet another round of gun control debates, and the NRA has become one of today's most controversial and culturally charged public organizations. But in a unique display of solidarity, tens of thousands of school children across the nation walked out of class to shame the government's do-nothing demagogues into action. RT's Anya Parampil caught up with some of the demonstrators in Washington, D.C.
The slogan today is enough, as students around the country have staged a mass walkout from class. Their message is simple. They're fed up with Congress's inaction on gun control and say no student should have to live in fear that their school could be next. At Georgetown University's walkout, 3 minutes of silence were observed to demonstrate just how quickly a gunman murdered 17 students in Parkland, Florida just 1 month ago, equipped with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle.
We can start with common sense things such as background checks, ban on assault weapons, because I don't think any citizen needs such a high-power weapon in their hands. Over 5 years ago, my cousin Victoria Soto was a first-grade teacher who was killed at Sandy Hook School in her first-grade classroom. So that kind of was the spark that motivated me to get involved in the movement. And that was over 5 years ago, and not a lot has changed.
We believe that change starts here at the younger level, and we came out here to support the students who are fighting to end gun violence and to protect the younger students. I have a younger brother. I don't want him to be scared going to school anymore, so this needs to stop now.
I am one of the organizers for Women's March Youth Empower, and I'm organizing this action because it is time that our youth stand up for our own safety. Congress and the adults in our lives have not done enough, and so now we're saying enough is enough.
Their target audience was obvious.
Every legislator in this country, I hope that my Senator Chuck Schumer hears it.
I hope all our members of Congress and our state legislators hear this message, that we are sick of feeling unsafe in our schools. We want them to ban assault weapons and expand background checks to be universal on all gun sales.
Across town, around 1,000 students, teachers, and administrators carried their rallying cry to the steps of the nation's capital.
Students shouldn't have to be afraid that a person will shoot them at school. That's not okay. So I thought I'd come here and show my opinion.
Because we're going to be the next generation to vote in. People who are lobbying people just to have their guns in this country that make people unsafe. It's not right.
Several members of Congress stopped by. Chants erupted in admiration for Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders when he paid a brief visit to the crowd in a show of support for the young students.
We're all in danger of gun violence, and we need to be safe in our schools because our schools are our learning environments. This is where we develop, this is where we grow, and we need to do it in a safe environment. This isn't okay.
I think enough is enough, and shootings happen way too often. Just last week, there was another shooting at a mall near our school, and it's just insane how often this is allowed to happen.
I think that the suffocating reality of the situation is that, as students, we're all vulnerable to attacks like the ones in Parkland and other places. It really could be any of us, and I know that, even something as far as Florida, it really hits close to home.
It's estimated over 3,000 schools participated in today's action. And while their call was loud and clear, their hope is that it will reverberate not just across campus, but in the halls of power as well. In Washington, Anya Parampil, RT.